How's it going, everybody? My name is LuckyBunz. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the best Pokemon that I powered up in 2025. This was a top comment that I got on a community post that I recently posted, going over topics that you guys wanted to see before the end of the year. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it right now, starting off with the first Pokemon, which I technically got at the end of 2024, but I actually maxed out this year in 2025, and that is going to be my Hundo Dawnwings Necrozma. So I ended up getting this Pokemon from a random special trade, not even a lucky trade, just a random special trade mirroring or just trading legendary Pokemon with one of my friends. This happened to turn into a lucky Hundo, which is so cool. Some of you guys might call them Lundos. I just call them lucky Hundos. The terminology is the same. But yes, Dawnwings Necrozma, for those who don't know, is the best ghost type attacker in the game. The only other Pokemon that's as good as Dawnwings Necrozma in the ghost type category is going to be Mega Gengar. So yeah, this thing is by far one of the best investments I have actually made. And I did have the XLs for quite some time. This is the only Hundo Necrozma that I do have access to. I did power up another Dawnwings previously, which was a 96% IV. I also best buddied that one, but of course, having the lucky Hundo Dawnwings Necrozma, I had to best buddy this one. Dawnwings is for sure one of my favorite Pokemon, and even though I don't go through and best buddy Pokemon that often, I really was motivated to get this one done. So this is fully maxed out, 100% IV. I do use this all the time in Master League and Rocket Battles. There are just so many applications for Dawnwings Necrozma. It's super good in pretty much every aspect of the game, so if you were able to get yourself a good IV spread on your Necrozma, and you have to choose between Dawnwings or Duskmane, 100% go with the Dawnwings. Okay, next up we're going to have my Shadow Heatran, which I actually got from Giovanni. I didn't get this at the end of the year. I got this at the start of the year on January 14th from Giovanni. I did give it the Elite Team to get Magma Storm because if you're going to be, investing into a Shadow Heatran or even into a Reshiram, and you're going to take that Pokemon to level 40 and you have the extra Elite TMs, you may as well give them their signature movesets. Each of those Pokemon goes up by like plus 5 points, so it's definitely worth the investment. So I have this Shadow Heatran at level 40. As somebody who plays this game mostly free to play, I'm really not out there raiding that often. Like most of my raid passes that I do save up are saved for like really, really good bosses. And so Shadow Heatran is a great boss. It is currently available right now at the time of filming this video in December. And I've done my free passes for him this month. I did actually get a Purifiable Hundo, which is super cool. But when it comes down to the Shadow Heatran that I got from Giovanni, I'll just show you guys the IV spread right now. It was a 3-star, which I think is excellent. A lot of times when you get these Shadow Pokemon, they're not going to have the best IV spreads, but I think 3-star is always a good place for these Shadow Pokemon in terms of whether or not you do want to power them up. So definitely don't regret my investment. I've used this plenty of times in raid battles. Haven't used it in many other aspects of the game, so no PvP, no rocket battles, nothing like that. Mostly just raid battles whenever the raid boss is weak to fire-type Pokemon. Next up, we have my Hundo Purified Ho-Oh. So I know what you guys are thinking, like, why would you purify this? You shouldn't purify Pokemon. But in certain scenarios, purifying to get the 100% IV actually does make sense. And in the case of Ho-Oh, this one for sure made sense. So I got this one on the Ho-Oh raid day in January on the 19th. And, when it came down to this Pokemon, you were actually able to TM to get Sacred Fire, the signature moveset, which would normally cost an Elite Charge TM. And so I was like, okay, for sure we gotta do this. And I was lucky enough to get 3 Purifiable Hundos for Ho-Oh. That is just insane luck by itself. So I do actually have 2 other Shadow Ho-Oh that could be purified to get 2 more Hundos, but there's really no need. So yeah, I still have some really good Shadows that I could invest into if I wanted, but Ho-Oh in the Master League is actually pretty relevant. In terms of the raid/gym meta, it's really not that good compared to some of the other fire-type attackers like the Shadow Heatran, the Reshiram. Much better to use as fire-type attackers, but having Ho-Oh, especially as someone who plays this game mostly free-to-play, to use in the Open Master League is actually pretty cool. And from that raid day event, I was able to get the remainder of the XLs I needed to max this out, which was pretty exciting. I don't max out legendary Pokemon often at all. I only have a few of them really, and maybe that number has gone up a little bit over the years, but it always takes me a long time to get enough XLs to max out a legendary Pokemon, just because I don't really raid that much. The next Pokemon we're going to go over is my G-Max Toxtricity. Nothing too special about this one. You can see here that it's only powered up to level 30, and that is primarily just to be used as an Electric-type attacker in the Max Battle format. It does have the special background from the Go Wild Area event, which is pretty cool. So that event was at the end of 2024. And I got this around February, I believe. So pretty cool Pokemon right there. You guys can see that I don't always max out every single Pokemon. Some of them do go to level 50, some of them just stay at level 30. level 30 is always a great stopping point, you know, especially for Pokemon that, in this case, the IV spread is okay. It's good for what it is. Like, you don't need to have the best IV spread for max battles. It's really not going to make that much of a difference. But of course, like if I happen to get like a 96% IV or like a 98, if I even got the hundo, I'd for sure take this further, maybe to level 40. But, you know, just given that it has this IV spread, I was like, well, I mean, I'm only going to use it for max battles. Level 30 will get the job done. And of course, taking a look at the max moves here, we do have the max attack upgraded to level 3. We have max guard at level 2, and we have max spirit at level 2 as well. Now, I will say you only really need to focus on the max attack getting it to level 3. The max guard and max spirit really aren't required for the Gmax Toxtricity here. I just kind of did it for some reason, but in hindsight, I probably would have just done the attack. The next Pokemon we have here is going to be my Shiny White Kyurem with the LA background. So I attended the in-person event for the Univitor this year. Very, very fun. And this was one of the Pokemon I was able to get, and I mirror traded this with one of my friends. And so this is how mine turned out. It has 14 attack, 15 defense, and 12 HP. Not the best IV spread, if I'm being honest, for something that you want to take to like level 50. So I only took this, you know, Shiny White Kyurem to level 40. So hopefully that does make sense. Like, I only took this Pokemon to level 40 because of the IV spread just not being good enough for level 50. I mean, if I'm going to take one of these Pokemon to level 50, again, it takes a lot of time to get the XLs on these legendary Pokemon. And, you know, this one, it's great at level 40. It's an amazing Ice type attacker. It 100% gets the job done. It's better than pretty much everything else, even at level 50. Like, Shadow Mamoswine at level 50 wouldn't even be as good as a level 40 White Kyurem. So keep that in mind as well when you're powering up these, like, super powerful Pokemon. Even if you take it to level 30, even if you take it to level 40, they're still really, really good compared to everything else. I will say when it comes down to usability, I've used this Pokemon quite a bit in the game this year. Again, it is the best Ice type attacker in the game, so very, very awesome to have this. Next up, we're going to have my Skeledirge hundo that I got during Com Day. So I don't really use this Pokemon for anything. I just like to have a collection of level 40 plus Pokemon. And, you know, maybe I'll take this level 50 in the future just cause. But as of right now, it was pretty close. I think I caught it like around level 35 in the wild. And so I just powered this thing up to level 40. It just was part of my power-up tasks that I did. I kept it in my power-up tag. And yeah, that's pretty much just why I have this. Otherwise, there's no real reason to power this up. I'd say it's just more for fun. So I do have a few of those Pokemon that I powered up this year that were just more, you know, they're close to level 40. Might as well just take them up there. There's a lot towards the end of the year from the Go Wild Area event that we'll talk about. But yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to for this Skeledirge, just because it was the hundo. Next up, we're going to have my Dynamax Blissey. So I love this Pokemon. It is so good. Let me just undynamax it right now. So yeah, there you go. It's the Blissey, and it is at level 50. This is one that I actually took to level 50. I've never maxed out a Blissey before in Pokemon Go, but the IV spread on this was perfect. And when I say perfect, it's not like a hundo, but 14 attack on a Blissey is not going to matter. Like, it could have been like 11 attack, it would have been the same thing. Blissey maximizes on its defense and its HP, right? It's a defender Pokemon, it's a tank Pokemon. You don't really need to have attack. You're never going to use it as an attacker. Its attack stat is so low in Pokemon Go. So when it comes down to it, even if it had like 0 attack, it would not make a difference on Blissey. Now you might be wondering why I upgraded the max strike to level 2 if the attack doesn't matter. Well, that's just because I had one of the level up tasks to do. It was like upgrade 20 max moves, and so it's just cheap to go from level 1 to level 2. That's the only reason I did it. Otherwise, you only need to upgrade max guard and max spirit to level 3. You don't even have to touch max strike. So unless you're on the level up task, there's no reason to actually do it. I've used this Pokemon all the time. It is by far one of the best investments you can make for the max battle system. It's an amazing tank. It gets the job done. It has a 0.5 second fast move. You can also drop this in gyms if you wanted to. It is a phenomenal investment. The next Pokemon we have is an amazing one. So this was a lucky Shundo that I got, and I got this from my friend Melissa. We mirrored Shiny Kyurem, and mine happened to turn into a Shundo, and given that I already had a White Kyurem, I was like, well, I want the Black Kyurem, and Black Kyurem's good for Master League, so I was like, okay, I only need to have one Black Kyurem that I invest into. In the future, I'm going to want to have multiple White Kyurem just because, you know, I'll use it as Ice-type attackers for the raid/gym meta, but for the Black Kyurem, this can be used as an Ice-type attacker, you know, Dragon/Ice-type attacker, but overall, you know, having just one really, really good Black Kyurem for Open Master League as well is ideal. And so I decided to, you know, make my Shundo into a Black Kyurem, and I use this Pokemon all the time. I use it in Master League, I use it in raid battles, I've used the Adventure Effect, Freeze Shock. I love this Adventure Effect. It is so freaking good. Basically, for those of you guys who don't know, it acts as a permanent Nana Berry for 10 minutes. And this means you don't have to use Nana Berries, obviously, when you're going to catch Pokemon. You can use Pineapple Berries, have the Nana Berry effect from Freeze Shock, and it is phenomenal. When I was working on Excellent Throws to hit level 50 before the level cap increase, I use this Adventure Effect all the time. So yeah, Black Kyurem, by far one of the best investments you guys can make in Pokemon Go. We do have a raid day upcoming on January 10th in 2026, so if you are able to get a really good IV spread, having at least one good Black Kyurem and multiple White Kyurem, highly recommended. The next Pokemon is going to be my shiny Gmax Lapras. So I got this from my friend Jaro, and honestly, this isn't as good as it once was, but it's still a great tank. It's supposed to be the best ice type, or at least it was, but as far as ice type attackers go, Glaceon is going to be better as an ice type, but still having the Gmax Shiny Lapras is so cool. I love this thing. It looks amazing. The IV spread is not great. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now. The IV spread is actually pretty bad on it, so it's not, you know, the best IV spread, but I did upgrade the Gmax attack all the way up to level 3. Lapras Candy is very difficult to acquire in Pokemon Go, so honestly, I don't know that I'm really going to upgrade any of the other max moves. Maybe if I'm able to get a better IV spread in the future. I do still, you know, ask for Gmax regular Lapras non-shiny from Lucky Trade sometime, so if I ever get the Hundo, then maybe I'll invest into that one and completely max it out. There is another Lapras I'm going to show off in this video, though, that I did take to level 40 this year, but this Gmax Lapras I only took to level 30 specifically for the max battle system. This is actually a fun Pokemon. So this Golisopod that I got this year, just a random trade, Lucky Hundo, and it's an XXL, which I think is even cooler, but I just kind of use this as like a power-up task Pokemon. It's in my level 40 plus tag, so again, there's no real relevance for this Pokemon specifically, but you know, if you do get a Lucky Hundo, you may as well just use that for your power-up tasks as you go throughout the game, and just get those field research done. The next Pokemon we have here is going to be my Zacian. So I got this from my friend Edgar. This has the New York background. It is a shiny. This is powered up to level 40. Didn't take it further than that. It's actually a little bit past level 40. You can tell down here. Honestly, the IV spread isn't the best. I'm still trying to get a better Zacian. I'm trying to get the Hundo, so anytime I do have lucky trades, I always ask for Zacian, just non-shiny, to make it easy. People usually do have a lot of extras that they just keep around. I didn't want to take this any further than level 40 or just a little bit past level 40. The max move is upgraded, the max attack is upgraded to level 3, so of course it is usable for max battles. It is an amazing investment, one of the best attackers. It's also a phenomenal steel type attacker in the raid/gym meta. It's great to use in Master League, although I do have another Zacian that's powered up a little bit more that I do use in Master League, and even then I would like to still get the Hundo. But, you know, even just level 40, level 30, I would even say for Zacian, extremely good as a steel type attacker in the raid/gym meta. And of course, if you do want to use it in max battles, you do want to upgrade Behemoth's Blade to max attack level 3. Next up, we have the Gmax Inteleon. So this one is powered up to level 30. This IV spread's actually pretty good. It's a 96% IV, 14 attack, 15 defense, and 14 HP. No reason to really take this thing further than that. I really just only use it as a water type attacker for the max battle format. Otherwise, I mean, if I had the Hundo, sure, maybe I'd power it up to level 40, level 50, but in the raid/gym meta, Gmax Inteleon, or sorry, just Inteleon by itself isn't like the best water type attacker. We have Primal Kyogre, Shadow Kyogre, those are much better investments. But Gmax Inteleon for the max battle system, yeah, of course. Also, it's like super cool with its sniper. Pretty cheap investment, but otherwise, yeah, not really going to use this Pokemon outside of max battles. So this is my other Zacian. It has the blue background from Go Fest. This one was a little bit better than the other one I had. It does at least have 15 attacks, so as far as an attacker goes, this is optimal. And then, you know, when it comes to the max moves, also have the Behemoth Blade upgraded to level 3. And this one is powered up a little bit more than the other one. Also, I did give it the secondary charge move, which was 100,000 Stardust and 100 Candy to get Play Rough. It is actually usable as a Fairy type attacker, which is pretty cool. So when it comes down to Zacian, this Pokemon is an amazing Steel type attacker. It's an amazing Fairy type attacker. It can be used in max battles. You can even use its Adventure Effect to make your Pokemon's attacks more powerful in max battles. And of course, it also has Master League relevance. So Zacian all around, if you were able to get a really good IV spread, phenomenal investment, one of the best Pokemon that came out this year for sure. Once again, I am still trying to get the Hundo for this Pokemon, so as of right now, it is going to stay powered up at this point. I doubt I'm going to power it up any further. I do want to save my resources for the eventual hundo when I, get it in 2 years or 3 years or however long it takes. I keep trading for him, so eventually it's gotta happen, right? Next up, we have my shiny Zamazenta with the Paris background. So I got this from my friend Mario, who attended this event. This only has the max guard upgraded to level 3. That's the only one that you really need. You could upgrade the max spirit. I think that would be quite helpful. The Behemoth Bash I don't think is as good, honestly. Zamazenta isn't really like the attacker type. You can still upgrade it if you want to, but honestly, when it comes down to it, its main use is a tank Pokemon in max battles, and therefore I just upgraded the max guard to level 3. That was the most important. It also has access to an adventure effect with Behemoth Bash. This essentially just gives it more defense in raid battles and max battles, so kind of the opposite of Zacian there. But I love this one. Honestly, the Paris background looks amazing. In terms of the Go Fest backgrounds this year, I think the Paris was the coolest. Without a doubt, one of the most generous trades that I got this year, and yeah, honestly, one of my favorite Pokemon for sure. I use this Zamazenta all the time, paired together with my Blissey, or like I'll interchange them, right? Sometimes Blissey's better, sometimes Zamazenta's better, but in terms of tanky Pokemon for max battles, there is nothing better than those two. And this Zamazenta is powered up a bit past level 40. I don't know if I'm going to continue powering this thing up in the future. I didn't have enough candy back then. I might go ahead and upgrade the max spirit at some point. This is without a doubt going to be the only one that I power up. I doubt I'm ever going to invest into another Zamazenta. Honestly, in hindsight, I kind of wish I only invested into one Zacian. More often than not, I only really use the one Zacian. So if you are going to invest into Zamazenta and Zacian, one is perfectly fine. Just invest into your best IV spread, or if you get like a shiny Lucky with a background like this, then yeah, you can do that too. In terms of the IV spread, it's, it has 15 attack, which I guess isn't optimal for Zamazenta. You'd want it to be in defense and HP, but that's perfectly fine. The IVs at the end of the day don't make a huge difference, and I just love this Pokemon all around. I have no regrets investing into it. It looks so cool. Shiny Lucky Zamazenta with the Paris background. Man, I love it. One of my favorite Pokemon that I got this year. I was stoked when I just got a regular background Regieleki during this event. I was the lead-up event for Go Fest, and later on when I got this from a trade, I was like, oh my god. So for those who don't know as well, Regieleki is the best electric-type attacker in the game now. It is better than Shadow Raikou, which is honestly kind of crazy, but Shadow Raikou is still very good for rocket battles. It's still really good to use as an electric-type option, so you should still be investing into that if you do have it. That being said though, if you are able to get a really good IV spread on Regieleki, it is definitely worth the investment. I don't think we're going to get anything better than this until maybe we get Shadow Zekrom in Pokemon Go, so this will be pretty good for some time. This is quite the story, alright? So this is a Shundo male Combi. That is level 50, all right? You're probably wondering, why did you power this thing up to level 50? So I got this from my friend Shea, and this was the most unexpected Pokemon I think I got this year for sure. Keep in mind, this was a non-lucky trade. We were just trading trash shiny Pokemon. We're just like, whatever, right? Turns into the Shundo. Like, I could not believe my eyes when I saw it. I was like, no way that just happened. Now, for those of you who don't know, male Combi cannot evolve into Vespiquen. Only the female Combi can evolve into Vespiquen. This is one of the most useless Pokemon in the game, but the fact that it turned into a Shundo just was like, oh my goodness. So of course I had to max it out. Eventually I got enough XLs for it. I know that I talked about my Dawnwings Necrozma, and that was like a non-lucky trade too. But I think this one tops that for sure, because it is a Shundo, right? I mean, what are the odds of that happening? Somebody do the math and let me know, because this is just insane. But yeah, my friend loves to talk about this one. She's given me quite a few hundos this year as well, because we do trade pretty often. So another lucky hundo right here, it's going to be a Gmax Machamp. So this was pretty cool. I just, traded, I forgot what I traded for this, but I got this from my friend Chad, and this was pretty cool to get because Gmax Machamp is the best fighting type in max battles, and so of course I took the max attack to level 3. The only reason Max Spirit is upgraded to level 2 is just for that max move upgrade level up task I had. This is level 50, it's good to go. I actually never maxed out a Machamp before then, and I have so much like extra large candy too, right? I have over 1,000, but there was never a reason because as far as fighting type attackers go in the raid/gym meta, Machamp isn't as good anymore. It's not even close compared to Pokemon like Terrakion or Keldeo, Lucario. They're all so much better than Machamp is now. And, you do have Shadow Machamp, so you could always power that one up. That one's still pretty good. But the regular Machamp, there isn't, like, a big reason. But for max battles, it's still, like, the best fighting type attacker in that system. And so of course I had to max this out. I love this, honestly. Just getting a Gmax Lucky Hundo is always pretty cool. So yeah, my Lucky Hundo luck this year was amazing, actually. This Pokemon is currently in a gym right now, but I can still appraise it. So phenomenal catch I got this year. Honestly, I still can't believe I got this one. So you guys can tell, like, my luck from 2025 was pretty damn good. Some of the Pokemon that I powered up were awesome. Now in terms of meta relevance, Shadow Gardevoir is still great to build as a fairy type attacker for the right/gym meta. Otherwise, you can use it in rocket battles sometimes with Charm. That's actually pretty powerful as just a really heavy fast move. And that's pretty much about it. But I love to drop this in gyms. Gardevoir is a great gym defender, actually, just due to its typing. This Pokemon is also in gyms. This is actually powered up to level 40. I call it Sparkles just because I don't know why that name just kind of was calling to me. I did best buddy this Lapras. I got it with the bow tie from my friend Jaro. And this one came out pretty good. 91% IV, 15 attack, 13 defense, 13 HP. I don't use this for anything other than gym defending, but I think it's like one of the coolest costume shiny Pokemon in the game, so very happy to have this. It doesn't have a background or anything like that, but very cool Pokemon. One of the few that I have best buddied. Again, for those of you who know, I don't best buddy Pokemon very often, but I did recently get this one done. The length that I went to get this Pokemon, man. So I don't think I've ever done a 2-for-1 trade, but I did a 2-for-1 trade for this shiny Gmax Charizard with the darkness background. 100% worth it, by the way, but damn did I give up a lot for it. So I gave up a shiny Gmax Garbodor and a shiny Groudon. I had to wait to get lucky friends with my friend again to give him the shiny Groudon. But yeah, I gave up a shiny Legendary and a shiny Gmax to get the shiny Gmax Charizard with the darkness background. I felt like that was a fair trade. Honestly, I think it was worth it. This thing looks so sick. Its IVs are really not the greatest, but you know what? At the end of the day, it looks so freaking cool, man. I don't care. Its main use is going to be in max battles as a really good fire type attacker, but of course you can also use it as a mega. I just recently got it to Mega level 3. I get so much energy from the referral program, so I'm like always maxed out on Charizard Mega Energy. It didn't take me that long to do it. I think I did it in like a little over 30 days. Now in terms of the upgraded max moves, I for some reason don't have this at a max attack 3. I don't really know why. But I'm going to keep my energy because I am going to be going out to play tomorrow, so I might want to hit a few of the regular Dynamax Pokemon in max battles. Maybe if I have excess energy on a different day, I'll upgrade this to level 3, but I think it's just so recent that I haven't had a chance to do it. I got this on November 1st, so we're getting towards the end of the year here. I did unlock the secondary charge move. It doesn't have Blast Burn. I probably will give it Blast Burn in the future once I get this up to level 50. I will eventually power this thing up to level 50 for sure. I have the XLs, as you can tell. I get so many Charizards from the referral program, so that is why I'm swimming in Charizard candy, or sorry, Charmander candy, and Mega Energy. But yeah, I love this Pokemon. You know, definitely worth the 2-for-1 trade. Shout out to my friend Jeff for giving this to me, or I guess being willing to negotiate for a 2-for-1 trade. Again, I do think it was a fair trade. A shiny Gmax and a shiny Legendary for a shiny Gmax with a background. I think that's really cool. This background looks amazing with shiny Gmax Charizard, so yeah, love this so much. It's an amazing Pokemon. Okay, moving on. We have, okay, so now we're gonna get into the Go Wild area Pokemon. A lot of these were actually pretty close to level 40, so I just kind of took them there. This was the best shiny Mawile that I got during the event. This is a 93% IV. Really, there's no application for this Pokemon. I just powered it up to level 40 just to have it. And again, it is shiny with a really good IV spread. I figured why not. There is no practical use for it though. I just want to tell you guys that right now. We have this Hundo Tyranitar. Did not need it, but again, I think I either caught it as level 40 or like it was close enough that I just powered it up to level 40. This Hundo Absol, this one is a double XL, which is really cool. Did not have a Hundo Absol before this event, so this was my first one that I got. I had like Hundo Tyranitars, quite a few of them from like 2017, 2018, the Calm Days, etc. There's always been a lot of Tyranitars in my Pokemon collection here, but the Absol, this is new, and it does have the legacy moveset here, Brutal Swing, which is really cool. That was a raid exclusive moveset, which actually came back for the Go Wild area event, so love that I have this now. Now, this is not a Shundo or anything crazy like that. It's a 13, 15, 13, but for those who don't know, the IV floor on the Mighty Pokemon was at an IV floor of 13, 13, 13, so you had a super good chance to get a Shundo. This one just didn't happen to roll that way. I think I got this from an incense. I do not remember, but the fact that it was just like a shiny double XL was really cool. I don't know if it was at level 40. I think I might have powered this up a little bit to get it there, just to have it at level 40 for my tag. And okay, let's go to the next one here. So we have this Absol. Now I know for sure this one wasn't at level 40. I remember powering this one up a few times. I did this one just cause, again, 91% IV, 15 attack, has the special moveset. It is a shiny. Still working on getting this one to Mega level 3. We don't have that much Mega energy for Absol, but you know, very happy to have this one, the shiny, and then also the Hundo Double XL. Super stoked on these catches from the Go Wild area. When it comes down to Hatterene, the meta relevance as a fairy type attacker isn't actually that bad. So if you don't have a Gardevoir, you don't have any of the shadows, no Xerneas, stuff like that, you could use these and they'd be pretty good. Now, if you were lucky enough to get the Lake Spirits from your incense during the Go Wild area event, most of them were powered up, right? Because they're gonna be mighty variants of these Pokemon. So I just took this one to level 40. This isn't really useful for anything. Honestly, I just wanted to have a level 40 Mess Spirit for my collection. 96% IV, 14 attack, 15 defense, and 14 HP. So still a pretty damn good IV spread. But in terms of application for meta relevance, there isn't any. It's literally just a collection Pokemon. Cool to have though because it is a legendary. All right, now we're going to have the Gardevoir. So I believe this one I got from the special research. This was pretty damn cool. From the special research quest, I happened to get the Hundo Gardevoir. Wasn't double XL, unfortunately, but still very cool to get. The other Gardevoirs I got were just from the wild, but this one was more special just because I got it from the special research. We have the Hundo Golurk that I got, just took it to level 40, nothing too special about that one. We have the Hundo Azelf. This thing is very special. So yeah, I got lucky enough that from the incense, I happened to roll the Hundo Azelf. I mean, phenomenal catch. Hundo Legendary. It was the regional that we do have here, but just not having to worry about getting this from raid battles is really cool. I was stoked. I did scream a bit when I got this in the car that I was in, and man, oh, so hyped on this one. Still very, very excited to have a Hundo Legendary from this year, from an incense too, man. Like, these can run away. These can actually run away, but I happened to catch it, and turned out to be a Hundo. So, of course, level 40. I think it was like really close to level 40 already though, so didn't have to power it up too much. So pretty cool to have this one. Again, no practical application for it, just cool to have for the level 40 collection. We have the Hundo Weavile, which I don't really, I don't know, I just happened to catch these during the event. I already had a Hundo that I maxed out, or sorry, not maxed out, but I powered up a long time ago, so didn't really need these, they're just extras. I think I actually have another one that I got during that event too. We have the Hundo, sorry, not the Hundo Uxie, the level 40 Uxie. Check out the IV spread here. Not the greatest, but again, having the Lake Spirits all at level 40, it's pretty cool for my collection, very happy to have them. Again, like when it comes down to power-ups, nothing too special there. We have a Hundo Garchomp, which I already had a Hundo Garchomp, so this is just an extra that I got during the event. Again, no practical application, but just given the IV floor being boosted during this event, there was an amazing opportunity to get a ton of Hundos for, your collection, and of course some are meta-relevant, some aren't meta-relevant. Galarian Weezing isn't one that is meta-relevant as a Hundo, but still insanely difficult to get, so super hyped to have that for my collection. We have the Double XL Gardevoir Hundo, and I know that we have a few more after this too. We have the Double XL Houndoom. We have a Hundo Gardevoir again. We have another Hundo Gardevoir. We have another Hundo Gardevoir. Big surprise here. There were a lot of callouts for these Gardevoirs during that day of the event, so I have quite a few of them, and I just kept them all because I love Gardevoir. Nothing else really. Like, I don't have as many Hundos of the other stuff, but Gardevoir I was able to get quite a few, which I'm pretty happy about. I might power these up to level 50 at some point in the future, probably not. It was cool to kind of get them. I got more Gardevoirs too, but I'd like trade them away. They were like 96s, 91s, 93s, some 98s. I didn't really need to keep them all. I just kept the Hundos. We have the Hundo Drapion. This was pretty cool to get. No, actual application for it. It goes a little bit past the 2500 CP limit for the Open Ultra League, and even then you wouldn't want to use it for that. But again, cool to have this. Never had the Hundo for this Pokemon before. We have another Hundo Weavile, which again, didn't really need it, just happened to catch it during the event. We have the non-Hundo Honchkrow. This is the best one that I was able to get. Unfortunately, Honchkrow was like super rare during that event. I don't know why. I got all these Hundo Gardevoirs, but I could not get a Hundo Honchkrow. So the best one I got was a 96% IV. Pretty sure I got this from an incense or something like that. I took this one to level 40. I love that the mighty Pokemon were already like, super powered up, especially if they did have the weather boost. I was able to catch this one with the weather boost. Didn't power this one up myself. So stoked on this one. It would only be better if it was like a double XL. I mean, I guess technically if it was a Shundo too, but you guys get the idea here. Shining Gardevoir, fantastic, 3257 CP. Love to see it. Very happy about that catch during the event. I did actually get a Hundo Granbull later, but I got it from a research task. So I stacked a couple of the research Pokemon that I got, and I ended up getting the hundo later from that, but at the time, this was the best one that I got. So I have a 98% IV right here that is past level 40, but I did get the hundo later. We have the shiny Drapion that I got. It was weather boosted, so of course we have to have that in here. Didn't actually power it up, but again, a lot of these Pokemon from the Go Wild Area event, you kind of get spooned in terms of the powered up versions of them, so of course you might as well keep them. Got Trinketed from my friend Shea, and I trade with her a lot. She's honestly amazing. I gave her a shiny Mewtwo for the shiny G-Max Gengar, and look, man, this is one of the best trades I got this year. Like, shiny G-Max Gengar is something I wanted for a really, really long time. I was happy that I had something that she wanted because, again, getting lucky trinketed isn't something I feel like that happens very often in Pokemon Go. Most of the time when people do it, like, they're looking for something really, really good. I happened to have a shiny Mewtwo, and she wasn't playing the game when that came out, so she had an extra shiny G-Max Gengar, and I was like, let's do it. Like, I'd love to trade for that. And this happened to be a 98% IV, man. God, I'm so happy with this one. Of course, I had to take it to level 50, still working on getting this up to Mega level 3. I love the G-Maxes with the Mega Evolutions. Like, these are by far some of the best Pokemon you guys can invest into in Pokemon Go. There's just so much application for them. G-Max Gengar is the best to use in max battles for ghost types, and then Mega Gengar is the best Mega to use for ghost types in raid battles. So yeah, I guess technically that is like the last Pokemon that I really powered up this year, because a lot of the ones I got from the Go Wild, I didn't really power them up that much, and some of them I didn't even power them up at all. I just kind of, you know, got them powered up, which was pretty cool. Always loved that. The Go Wild Area event is one of my favorite events of the year for that reason, and you can see here that like half of them were just from that event. The other half, you know, it's actually all legit. These were powered up from pretty low levels, at least like level 20, level 25, and taken all the way up to either level 40, level 50. Some stayed at level, 30, just the, G-Max Lapras or the G-Max Inteleon. But everything else is like level 40, level 50. I mean, the Shadow Gardevoir right here, of course, level 50 right there. And yeah, the G-Max Gengar, the shiny G-Max Gengar right here, this was the last one I powered up to level 50, so pretty cool Pokemon to actually end off the video. For those of you guys that want a quick look at my top Pokemon that I have powered up in the game, this is it right here. I'll just do a quick run through. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and I'll spend some time going over some of these Pokemon more in detail when I do my collection video for 2025. Otherwise, that pretty much covers everything I have for you guys in this one. Hopefully you did enjoy going through some of the best Pokemon that I powered up in 2025, and if you do want to check out some more content going over the best Pokemon to power up in game, I'm going to recommend these two videos next.